Right, show you what I'm up to. Started digging my drainage out, so I'm coming along there, up there. I need to move that lamp, which is on the corner, support my pond, which is down there. I need to dig all this out. I need to find out my levels at this side, work them out to make sure that I'm digging up at the right gradient. Don't want to be too deep, because you're over digging then, aren't you? Digging out a lot more than what you want, so you've got more soil to dig away and get rid of. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go sit in the shade a minute, take my gloves off. So if you're digging too deep, you are spending more time digging unnecessarily. You are getting rid of more soil, whether that's going in a skip or wherever. You've then got to make your levels back up, so it costs you more money in gravel, you know, because you're putting unnecessarily gravel in. Sat in the shade, and all the time that takes, so you're doing a lot of unnecessary work. So you really want to be digging right to begin with. So I'm digging something like, then I'm going to set my laser up. Yeah, so I'm digging something like that. I need to find me levels at both ends, work out my gradient, and set my laser so that it digs up, so it works on a slope. Then as I'm going along and bottoming it out, I'm digging on the right gradient, if you follow that. You can't beat digging right as you're going along. I like to use a bar just to break the surface. I find a bar a lot better than a pick, because I'm not bending down on my back, you know, and it's just steady away. If you've never tried a bar over a pick, you want to try it. Right, so what I've done, I've roughly dug out down there, as you can see. Down to the chamber, but I don't know if it's the right gradient. So I'm going to set my laser up now on a fall, and then I can put my laser at certain points down the excavation and see how much needs to come out, so it'll help me excavate to the right gradient. I did well there. And why it's important, you see some people when they're doing drainage, they just put a spirit level on, give it a bit of fall and say that'll do. Well, maybe it will if you're just doing one pipe, but when you're doing a run round a house, it's not. What you can also do is work out your fall, and then if you've got a 1200 mil spirit level, you can work out your fall, then divide it by 1200, and it'll give you a measurement. Let's say it's 8 mil, So then you put an 8mm packer under the end of the spirit level, and then as long as you keep that packer at the low side, every metre you drain will show level on your bubble. So you can do it that way or use a pipe laser. Why it's important to get your gradients right is if your drain is too steep, all the liquid, all the wee and everything runs away from the poo, and your poo will sit there and it ends up blocking, or it can end up blocking. Same if it's too shallow, your poo will sit there and the wee will just trickle away, and you need the liquid and the solids to be together because the liquids help pull the solids along. You also don't want your drain to be going up and down and up and down, you know, peaks and troughs, because again that gives you areas where your solids, your poo, can sit, and it ends up blocking. And also it's not just poo goes down your drains, people shove everything down there what they shouldn't. So you need to make sure that whatever you're doing won't block. Mine is the minimum fall, which is 1 in 80, because my main connection to my existing drain is quite high, so I'm doing mine at the minimum fall, and I need to do that because at the very end of the run, if I'm steeper, it's going to be out the ground, it's going to be above my paving. So that's why I need to keep to the minimum fall of 1 in 80, and I want that fall consistent all the way around so that I don't have any problems in the future. So that's why I'm just going to set this gradient up now. So the first thing I need to do is take a measurement from the invert of that chamber to the ground level up there, and work out what my 1 in 80 fall should be, and then I'll know whether I need to dig any out at that end or add some in, but we'll show you that in a minute. I don't know if you can see the screen or not because of all the reflection. So from the centre of the chamber to my ground level, it was 9.2 metres. I timed 0.0125 by 9.2, and that gave me 115mm. So that is the fall from there to there. I double checked it by 115 times 80, which is a minimum fall, gave me 9 metres 200, so I know that's right. So what I'm going to do now is take a reading with the laser from the invert of that chamber to the ground level up there. Right then, so I've set the laser up there. Now this is quite an handy one because it's self-leveling, so I don't have to get the tripod exactly level. There is a bubble in there which will help me. So you're supposed to level it up so that bubble there is right in the centre of that square circle, but I don't need to because this is self-leveling. So when I turn it on, it'll do whatever it needs to do to get it level, and then once it's level it starts spinning. So let's turn it on. There, that's now level because it's spinning. So I will take a reading at this end of the invert of that level, because all my measurements will relate back to that invert, but it won't be the one at the bottom, it'll be of that one there what goes into it, because that's the drain one I'm working to. So let me get that done. So the invert level at this end is 1650, because there's 1.7 and these are every 10mm apart, these little squares. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that is 1 metre 650. I best write that down. Right then, so then that timber peg is my invert level for the drains at this end. I've got my laser rotating and I've taken a reading from inside the invert and it's 1635. Right, so I know my fall is 115mm. So 1635 minus 115 is 1520. So when I set this to 1520 there, which is that peg I've put in at the top there. So I've got that peg to the invert level of what I want. So then if I come up the level from that invert there to the laser, the 1645, and do the same here, 1645, that should give me a gradient. So let me get that. So I've already lifted the reader. So I've propped the staff. So what I need to do now is lift that laser beam up till I can hear. I need to use the tilt function so that I can hear that laser beam beeping constantly. Well, you can hear that and you can see its thing. So that laser beam is now coming out of there up at an angle. So I'm just going to double check it by taking this down and putting it back in that invert down there. Right, so I've just checked it in there and it's fine. So all I need to do now, that's the invert level of the drain. I just need to raise the staff, the thickness of the pipe bedding, and that'll give me my dig level at an angle. I can see that bit there just needs a bit out. That bit there wants quite a lot out because I'm tilting out a plumb. That needs a lot less out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig this out and just make sure every few hundred mil I get that continuous tone, and the job's a good one. You know, I've just dug that bit out there and it just helps me. Look, I've just dug a bit too much out. You know, you can just dug a bit too much out at that bit there, so I'll just work my way along, not so deep, and just keep monitoring the dig. Tree roots. Oh, come on. So if it goes beep 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 beep, means I want to go down. If it goes beep beep beep, means I want to go up. So I'm only a couple of mil there. Couple of mil, so that's fine. You're not going to get it spot on. You know, if you're within a few millimetres, you know, if you was within an inch, you know, you'd like to think, an inch is quite a lot if you're a lot of digging or infill to do, but if you get within half an inch, and that's all there is to it. Just keep working your way along. You just got to make sure that if you're buying a laser to do it like this, it's got the tilt function on it, and make sure you know your X and Y axes as well, because you've either got to have your laser set that way or that way, because the way it tilts, so you might be tilting your beam and it's not picking it up. Well, if it's doing that, just rotate your laser through 90 degrees and you should be all right. Right, another day, another dollar. So what I'm doing at the moment, I've dug out my trench to the right formation level, and I'm just setting out gullies. I've got another couple to go in here. So why I'm setting these out is I've obviously got little branches to dig across, but you just need to think about what you're doing, because you don't need to dig out all that muck right across. All you need to do is set that to your right level, get your outlet in there, and I might only have to take off a tiny piece of this corner, because by the time my pipe comes out, so I just need to think about what I want to do. So I can either put a bend on there and then come down into a connection here, or I can put my T-piece on there, have that coming up vertically, and then just have a straight piece and a 90 degree bend. The only problem with that is rodding it if ever you got a blockage. I mean, it's only taking water, but you're better off if you can coming straight out there, a bend on, because then you can rod straight down into your main connection. I certainly wouldn't want a 90-degree bend if I was doing anything with solids, unless you can access it. So what I don't like is when you see gullies, or when you see pipes coming out of a wall, let's say here, and your gully's over here, and they've got a piece of pipe running in between. I'd much rather have the pipes coming straight out the wall and dropping straight into the gully. So the first one is dead easy, that one, because it's just underneath that bit of downpipe there. I've already set that one out for a soil stack inside, because the toilet will connect into that, but a basin won't, because I don't want to see pipes in the bathroom, and I don't want to see boxing in either. So what I'm going to do is run the basin through the wall, behind the kitchen sink, behind the kitchen units, and have it come out into the kitchen gully. Then it's all hidden. So I've got a gully to go somewhere there under the window, but I'm going to go set the kitchen units out in a minute, and the basin, so I can get in that in the right place. I've got another one down there for a shower, and because I can't even think of the words. And saying that, I already know I've got the wrong gully for the shower. Yeah, I need to change that. So my shower, sorry, lost my train of thought there. My shower waste is going to be coming through a screeded floor. So when I screed the floor, I'll make a trough in the screed so that the pipe can just slot straight in. So I need to get the gully exactly in the right place where the shower waste comes out. So I need to set out the shower tray and the pipe work and the bathroom walls so I can get everything set out in the right place. So what I've done inside, that's my bathroom wall. So I positioned my pipe where I want it to be. You don't want to be tight against the wall. And this is all going to be hidden, because the toilet, it's a wall mounted toilet. It's all made of stone as well, all white stone. So it's a wall mounted toilet, and little teaser for you there, and it attaches to a steel frame. That's what it hangs off, which is hidden in the wall, so you won't tell there's a steel frame, and that pipe will be hidden in that. So I made a mark for the centre of the pipe, measured from this corner of this block work 600mm to the centre of the pipe. So I then just went outside, measured from the brick reveal 600, put my spirit level on, plumbed down and made a mark. And that's how I know where my bend is for my soil stack. That's the bathroom and kitchen side, so that's the position of the wall. So that's my kitchen. So I've added 262, 800 and then 350. That should get me into the middle of the sink unit. I then made a mark on the wall I'll now measure from that window reveal to that mark and transfer that outside. And then that'll be the centre of me gully. And then if there's a bit of fine adjustment needed to get the pipes out in the right place, I'll do that either at the back of the sink or in the sink with the fittings, just so it all looks tidy. That's another bugbear of mine as well, inside cupboards. An excuse is, it doesn't matter, it won't be seen. It does bloody matter. They need to be tidy, they need to be thought about. Any holes cut in. Don't let people butcher your cupboards, because they only put pipes in because it's easy for them. You know, it might take a few extra more minutes or a couple of quid in an extra couple of fittings, but it's worth it just to open a door and have that pride in what you're doing. So you just need to think about pipes and cable runs. Another thing which I like to do, which I find helpful, is if I'm doing any marking, I like to mark on spray paint, so then I know where my marks are. A couple of examples. Oh, there's a mark there. Another one there. One down there. That pipe's still on the floor, it's not doing anything. One there. Oh, that top of the insulation. That way you know where your marks are. All you're setting out is because you can see it, and it makes your life so much easier. Another thing which is a bugbear of mine. Let me get a pencil. I've just walked in with a pencil. Oh, there it is. This is another bugbear of mine. Let's see if it'll mark on there. So, people will do a mark and they just go. And I think, what use is that? You know, you're looking for them, you can't see them. You either want to have a proper mark, or, which is even better, let's say that bit of white fluff there was your measurement on your tape. So another thing to do, and this is the method I always prefer, and you know the point is your mark. And I think it just makes it so much easier and confusion, because when you do a mark with a pencil, you know, it's so easy just to go at an angle. I've exaggerated that. So where's your measurement from? Is it there, 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 there? Whereas with that, you know it's from that point. You've had a teaser and you've had a tip of the day. Right, let me spray my paint. So I'm trying to set out my shower tray so I know where the waste goes. So there's my bathroom wall. So I just want to be somewhere in these liner blocks down here. And why I've done it there is because I've got all this rubbish down here, but I want to take my measurement from that wall there, and it sets back at the bottom because my floor has to go into there. So I've done it opposite this piece of blockwork here, so I can do my calculations here, take the measurement of that wall to the right mark, do the measurement from that wall, put a mark, and wherever that mark is, take a measurement from the side of that window to the mark, and then go outside and measure from the side of the window, plumb down, put a mark. That's the centre of my gully. Ta-da! Right then, so this is how I'm setting out the gully for the shower. That is the position of the wall. Then I've got 12mm tile backer board. Then I've got 30mm to the start of the waist. So that's shower tray, I've got 30mm. Then the waist is 77mm apart, wide. And then the outlet for the waist is here. Now I know this because there are the measurements for the shower tray. So I don't know if you can see somewhere. 30mm from the edge of the tray to the start of the waist. And the waist is 77mm wide. And then there you can see the outlet. So there'll be a bend going on there. So imagine that's the pipe. So I'll allow a bit. So let's say, so I will make, so let me allow a bit of tolerance. So I will make that the centre of gully. So I'll now transfer that measurement outside. Line the seam up on the bend with the seam on the gully, and you know you got your right angle. Mine's a 45 degree. I paid £2.62 for the bends when I got all my drainage, but because I didn't know what angle I wanted, I only bought so many. Anyway, I needed two 45 degree bends. One company at Brid wanted £18 odd for one bend. Anyway, I got them in from somewhere else, £8.22, which is still like 4 times more than what I paid off the internet, 3 times more. So I'm glad I didn't want too many. Right, so what I've done now, dug my pockets out where the gullies go. You see, I put some pipe bedding in the bottom. Well, I've already tipped it in. So what I'll do now, I'll set up my laser level on a gradient, and then I can dip the gravel and get it all to its right formation angle, and then my drains will just sit straight on top of the pipe bedding all nicely. Right, so just to recap, set my laser up. I'm going to take a reading from that invert to where it beeps. So let's say that is that height, you know, between my finger and thumb. I've already got my invert level in the ground up there of what it needs to be at that end. So I'm going to stick the staff on there and support it. So then that is going to give me that measurement at that end, and that's going to be up here. Hang on, let me support my camera. So that measurement is going to be that end by the chamber. That the same measurement is going to be at that end, but it's going to be higher like that. So then all I need to do is support the staff at that end, come back to this end and set that gradient with my laser, and then I just work my way up that gravel and it gives me the correct angle all the way up. So let's get it done. So that's that supported. I'll just use the clamp. I now go and alter the angle of that till I hear the continuous tone at this end. There, so that's done. Right, so I've got my gravel in, I'm going to start putting my pipe in, but because I'm using T-junctions it's so easy to set them. Well, there's my mark for my gully. I can put a square against my brickwork. And set the centre of my pipe, because that's 50mm. I can just sight it over the end and I know that's the middle. Then I can just get the measurement for my bit of pipe there and put it in. I'll tell you something in a minute about this lubing up, about what happened to me last night, if I remember. Well, I've put some on that end, but what you've got to watch is that when you put that end of the pipe, put it straight in the socket, don't let it sit on the floor, because otherwise you get all bits of grit and crap in it. So right, I'll show you the shovel thing. Get your shovel at the end of your pipe. Oops. Shovel at the end of your pipe. Dig it into the ground. That's it. It just pushes that pipe in there, all nice and easy. You'll just want lining up and titivating. That wants lifting up a touch, but I'll tell you something. Oh, that one with the bend on wants titivating a bit, but I'll tell you something about that in a minute. I'm going to lube this end up. I've just stuck a tiny little mortar pick under the end. You just don't want it sat in all the cat, do you? if you can work cleanly on anything you do, it's half the battle. Just make sure I put that on the right way, because you want the bend going the right way, going the direction of flow. And I'll tell you what happened to me last night, because I forgot to tell you. Well, I haven't forgot to tell you, I just haven't told you yet. Yeah, so putting this lubricant on just reminded me of last night. I went out into Scarborough for my tea. Fish and chips and a burger and that lot. Not fish and chips, but burger. And I'm sat on the seafront and I got chatting to this woman. Yeah, she was really nice. We hit it off. Anyway, during the course of the conversation, she asked me for sex. Anyway, I had to disappoint her. I had sex with her. Well, I've had a nice couple of hours. Shower and bed now. So, what I've got done, so I've got that done. So connection for a toilet and a shower will be in there. That's for the downpipe. That's for the little kitchen. So I've got it just to straighten up a little bit. I think just there. And get my pipe bedding round it all. But I just want to show you about these soil stacks. When you set these, don't put them to the wall, because when your soil stack comes up above the ground, you can't get your brackets on. You need to set these the depth of the brackets which go around your stack. And then also, ow, you want your socket below ground level so that you don't see it, so it looks like your stack is going straight into the ground. Well, it is going straight in the ground, but you don't want these above ground. I've got this below my path level. My path level's there, so you won't see it and it'll all look nice and tidy. I've had enough. An hour here and an hour there, and it's surprising what you can. So Bob, on my job tomorrow evening's gonna unless I do it early, is just to put pipe bedding round, get that done. But I want to get a building inspector to come and have a look. I need to take all that out as well, where what I was on about earlier on, so I can carry on round and do what I want to do down there. Right. Oh. Quick tea, shower and bed. In that order. No, shower, tea and bed. In that order.